HYROX may look like a strength-based event. Sure, you have the heavy sleds, farmers carries, lunges, wall balls, but don't let that fool you. If you look at it from a physiological perspective, it is predominantly an aerobic event. When looking at the three energy systems in the body, I really help use this as a needs analysis to determine how to train. Now, when looking at the aerobic system, specifically, anything that's going to last over a 2-minute duration is predominantly going to use aerobic glycolysis to help fuel the body. So when looking at HYROX, it takes most athletes over an hour or an hour plus to complete the event. So this is going to be the system primarily working when doing that. When people hear aerobic work, they think easy. That's not necessarily the case. You're going to still push yourself and be able to toe that line, but it is predominantly an aerobic event. My name is Ben, here with Kinetic Movement. I'm a personal trainer as well as a co-owner, and my fiancée Brooke and I raced HYROX Vancouver last week. What I noticed immediately during the event was it wasn't necessarily the strongest athletes pulling away, but those who have the capacity to work. And you could tell it taken the time to develop their aerobic base. In this next slide, I'm going to talk to you about the three energy systems, the ATP-PC system, anaerobic glycolysis, as well as the aerobic system, and how to help you use them to tailor your training. Stop doing those random hard workouts, circuits, strength work. Use these systems to help dictate your training and get you that race result you want. Okay, so here's the chart I was mentioning with the three different energy systems. Feel free to pause and just take a quick, brief overview of it. There's a lot going on here. I'm going to relate these specifically to the HYROX event. But when we're talking about it and you're looking, most of the HYROX events, it's going to take competitors above an hour to complete it, an hour plus. So if you're looking at duration, that's going to fall in the aerobic or oxidative category. That's exactly kind of where HYROX lives. You know, it's not sprinting, it's not redlining, but it's towing that line. It's not easy, but it's a good sustained effort that's going to be uncomfortable. So in my opinion, when people kind of fall short is their aerobic system isn't developed and they're forced to rely too heavily on the anaerobic side of it. This is going to lead to kind of rapid lactate accumulation, which is then going to rise the heart rate and make the efforts unsustainable after a while. The stations themselves don't get heavier, they just feel heavier because you're not recovering and your efforts are going to be compromised. So it doesn't mean that these other two systems, the ATP, PC, or the anaerobic system, don't play effect. They absolutely do. I like to think of the ATP PC system as when you're having those short, hard efforts that are going to be close to maximal. So maybe starting that sled for the first, 0 to 10 seconds. It's short, brief bursts of high intensity. And I think the anaerobic system plays a good role in all the stations. Most of the stations last between those 2 to 3 minutes, and you're really pushing at that station. So being able to develop this system will be able to help you shuttle that lactate, and it's going to make sure that you're being able to clear it and recover as well. I like to think of HYROX is kind of anaerobic work that's layered on top of a good aerobic base. And if the base isn't there, the entire system's going to collapse. So here's how I think you kind of should train each system a little bit properly. First, you really want to build that aerobic system. So lots of zone 2 efforts. You can use lots of different modalities, cycling. I use the Aerodyne bike a lot, rowing. You want to do a lot of running, obviously, to build that load and that tolerance. I like to fit in those long runs a week. And then second, you're going to raise the ceiling of the VO2 work, short, hard intervals that improve how much oxygen you can use. And that's going to make race pace feel a little more controlled. And third, with the anaerobic contributions, you want to train them sparingly. Controlled circuits, EMOMs, timed workouts, so workouts for time, a little bit of race simulation sprinkled in there. And I think strength training is going to support all this by lowering kind of the relative costs of each station. The stronger and more efficient you are, the less energy each movement is going to demand. Thought I'd just share a couple shots here of Brooke and I's event in Vancouver. We were able to hit that goal time of an hour 5:51 seconds, which was pretty competitive for our mixed doubles category. It was a complete blast. Tunes were awesome, vibes were high. Looked like every athlete was having a good time there, which was awesome. I would love to be able to offer you guys a 12-week build up to your next HYROX race in using this program that we use to achieve our time. This can be available in the link in the description below. It's going to take you to our website via our business, Kinetic Movement. And the workouts will be programmed via the Trainerize app. So you'll have a new workout each day. There's some frequently asked questions about the program. It's a one-time purchase. And as always, feel free to reach out if you have any more additional questions about it.